Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Sorry I'm running late. You know what happened? I sent the show to another channel. Yep. I have specific shows, and unless I make the change in the settings, it will get sent to the wrong channel. So I've been sitting here shooting a whole show without you guys. I apologize. Didn't mean to take a ride without you, but let's get to it. Tonight's question: what crypto lending platform just filed for Chapter 11? Aave, Figure, Ledin, or other. If it's other, drop it in the comments. Now, today was an interesting day. Bitcoin's up at 74,647 and 87 cents. Ethereum is up at $2,352.36. XRP is up to $1.54. Now, if you take a peek at Bitcoin, this is what I was telling you guys for a long time. Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. Other coins and tokens, they go up and they come down. And they go up and they come down, right? So they go up harder, or they go up faster, and they come down harder, right? This is what I've been trying to tell you guys for a really long time. Pay attention to those things. Why do I show you guys, the list of coins and all the numbers and everything? It's so that you can see the year-to-date percentage side by side. So you can see them all and go, oh, Bitcoin year-to-date is negative 1470. Wow, that's interesting. Ethereum year-to-date down is $20.72%. Wow, there was a much bigger gap before. That's right. That's exactly right. So where did it come from? 7 days ago, if you'd have purchased Bitcoin and purchased Ethereum, for Bitcoin, you'd have made a nice penny. It's up 8.79%. But Ethereum is up twice that. And there you go. There you go. So you start to pay attention to what's going up, what's correlating with Bitcoin. When it goes up, when I move, you move. Yeah, when it goes up, what else goes up? And it could be a trailing kind of deal. It could be that Bitcoin goes up and these guys trail. Or it could be that a whole basket of them go up and some go up faster than others. So what I've noticed in this market as of late is Bitcoin will go up, hit a nice number, and then it'll recede because people want to take their profits. Now, am I going to be one of those people with my trading wallets? The answer is yes. I know. There are a whole bunch of people saying, why would you do that? It's going to go up. It's going to go up. Here's my thought process. I have two sets of wallets, and I've been telling you guys this for a really long time. I have my hodling wallets, and I just let those rock. I DCA into those wallets, and I just let them rock. But my trading wallets, I play with. And I'm very strict on those wallets. If I want to keep something from this wallet, I make a physical transfer. And the reason why I make that transfer is because I have to pay a fee. I must pay a fee to transfer from one wallet to another. And that's my skin in the game. That's my sacrifice. That's my sacrifice, because I'll remember that. And what'll stick in my head is how much money I spent transferring whatever it is I'm transferring. Yeah. So it's a reminder. It's also a reminder of, well, did I make the right decision the first time? Did I make the wrong decision the first time? Sometimes it's actually the right decision. I should be trading this particular thing, and all of a sudden, the data changes. The data changes and tells me, oh, sir, you should probably hold on to that. That normally happens when I'm buying something new, or buying something that I used to have that I don't have anymore. That's when that usually happens. So I pay attention to all of those numbers. It's one of the reasons why I have the GMB X factor, and it's because it tells me what's going on with the numbers. It gives me another calculation that I can actually leverage to my advantage. Right? Again, this is why I have hodling wallets and trading wallets. Hey, Hutanek, thanks for letting us know you invested in yourself. So that's what I pay attention to. So when I pay attention to everything that's going on, I'm kind of like, ooh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And the reason why I show you guys all of the numbers in like a chart is so that you can see all the numbers together and you can start to measure. So if you take a look at the year-to-date numbers for Bitcoin, it's at 14.7% lower, right? It's in the negative by 14.7%. And Ethereum's in the negative by 20.72%. Now, normally you'd sit there and you kind of go, yeah, that doesn't look so good. True, possibly. But if you'd have bought Ethereum 30 days ago, Ethereum is up 12.57%. Bitcoin's only up half that. If you'd have purchased Bitcoin 7 days ago, it's up 8.79%. Ethereum is up twice that. I'm just giving you an example about how things are currently moving. And the reason why is because Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. Just does what it does, right? And then I started telling you guys, I also pay attention to what's moving in lockstep with Bitcoin, what's moving close to Bitcoin. I'm also paying attention to what and how is it moving? Is it making the same movement as Bitcoin, but it's making bigger movements, so higher highs and lower lows? Well, Ethereum is making higher highs and lower lows. So a couple of days ago, the year to date for Ethereum was about twice that of Bitcoin. And it was painful to see. You just sit there and you're kind of like, ugh, yeah. And that's when you start paying attention. You start paying attention to all that. So for me, it's one of those, yeah, I want to see what coins are moving. I want to maximize my value. Now, when I'm hodling, DCA, that's my strategy. I figure out what I want to take my DCA funds, figure out what I want to do, but DCA. My trading wallets are totally different. And like I said, I keep them both separately. Keep them both separated. Why? Because if I have to transfer something, I have to pay a fee, and that fee is going to teach me a lesson. The lesson's either going to be you are wrong, you are right? And you were right because the data changed. So now instead of selling this, I want to hold it. So I make the transfer, noting the fee that I have to pay because it costs me money. That's my sacrifice. I had to pay for that. So there's a long list of coins that I pay attention to that I like, even some that I don't like, that I pay attention to. Why? Because I need to know how I can increase my value. We're living right now in a really tough market. A really tough market. So if we're living in a tough market, then I hate to say it, we've got to do more work. Got to keep your nose in the news. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. So if you've been paying attention, you know why now that I do that. So I can pay attention to how much value can I increase by. So will I most likely dump my wallets? My trading wallets? Depending on what coin it is, probably. I'll probably make big moves right there. And some people are like, why would you do that? I look at the market and I kind of go, how long is it going to stay up? Look at the situation that we're in. Look at all the news, all the macro events, everything else. How is it going to stay up? You start doing your calculations. You really start doing your calculations. And I'm like, yeah, my calculations say it's okay to take profit. It's like what happened the last time. I pulled out, right? I took profit, took out my principal, and I sat there. And then it went up just a little bit more. And right after that, so I didn't feel bad. Once I make a decision, I'm happy with my decision. I'm done. Like Warren Buffett, I think he has a 10% rule. If I'm making 10%, that's it. I don't care. Could I have made 20? Maybe. But I made 10. I may have made 20. I might have made 30, 40, 50. I'm not going to be upset. It's a learning experience, right? It's a learning experience after I've made 10%. I don't beat myself up. Once I've done a trade, I do not beat myself up. I pay zero mind to it. That's like somebody telling me they don't like my haircut. You're not one of my kids. I don't care what you think. No, not at all. Not at all. I don't care. So that's how I treat my trades. That's how I treat my trades. Pay attention to what you're doing. Stay focused. Stay knowledgeable. So one of the things that I noticed is, well, you're not going to be able to control, especially right now, you're not going to be able to control macro events. Example, last April, we were just smoking. We were just moving along just fine. And then what happened? Yeah, the magic T word happened. The magic T word happened. And then what happened? Oh, we took a hit. And we kept getting hit. We kept getting hit. Because it would be tariff, bang. We'd start to recover a little bit of time passes. Tariff, bang. Go look at the charts. Go look at the charts. There was always some big event to knock us down. Almost as if it was on purpose. I'm not going to say it was, but something to keep your mind off of other things, in my humble opinion. But that means you might be paying too much attention to something. So I'm paying attention to everything. Everything I can get my grubby little hands on that's newsworthy, I'm paying attention. Something else that I was thinking about that most people are probably not thinking about. Hey, A pause. I almost called you two pause. That's funny. Thank you for letting us know that you have invested in yourself. And he's not here, so you can't say that. He hasn't said a word. He's not here. So nah. Got to come up with your own answer. Anywho, I started paying attention to AI and blockchain. This is going to sound funny, so strap the hell in. So I'm paying attention to AI and blockchain, and I started asking myself, is the hoopla around AI meant to keep your mind off of crypto? Here's another reason why I ask. What education has been going on around crypto? I mean, there are people like me trying to educate people all the time, but I mean like AI, just like bonkers. Like it's just bonkers. And think about this. AI has the potential to decrease the number of people that have a job. Notice how I said that. Anywho, so I look at Bitcoin and I'm kind of like, how much education are these people giving about Bitcoin? Enough to get money. If you pay attention to inflows over the past few weeks, it's enough to get money. But has it been enough to flip those people from ETFs to, hey, thanks for the information, I'm going to go start buying some on my own? Yeah, what you have in an ETF is fine, but I'm going to go start buying stuff on my own. Has it been enough to do that? Yeah, I don't think so. Have not seen it. have not seen it. So I'm kind of like, well, everybody's still going crazy about Bitcoin. I mean, about AI, and not enough people are going crazy about crypto, even though crypto has arguably far more of an impact. No education crypto, big money wants you to buy ETFs. They do. They do. And that goes back to an article I was talking about over the weekend, which is, yeah, a lot of people are starting to think that, they really do want crypto to flow via centralized systems. And we can't let that happen. We should not let that happen. That's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. So here's something that I've been saying for a long time that I don't think people pay attention to. If institutions were to take over a particular coin, what do you think would happen? I think most people would say, well, F that coin, we'll use these. That would be the problem. If you centralize a decentralized coin too much, people won't care about it. And they'll just say, goodbye. We'll go over here. I gave this example a while ago, and it's how many people are wearing gold wedding bands? That number has dropped significantly, hasn't it? You can almost tell who's been married for a long time because they're wearing a gold wedding band, and not one of those black ones or something else. They're wearing a gold metal band, a gold, wedding band, some kind of precious metal wedding band. You can actually say, well, they've been married for a minute, right? They've been married for a minute. And it's one of those things where I'm looking at everything now, I'm kind of saying to myself, that's very interesting. So when I look at Bitcoin, I think that's a very realistic perspective that it's highly possible that you control too much of a coin, you and your cronies, because that's how it works. If you look at who owns, at the uppermost levels, which one of those institutions owns another one of those institutions, owns another one of those, they all own each other. They all own each other. Who owns like the first or second most BlackRock? Vanguard. Does BlackRock own some Vanguard? Yes. Just go do the research. You can start to see who owns who. And you sit there and you're kind of like, holy moly. Yeah. The businesses might run differently, but they all run within the same space. Did it? Let's see. Bitcoin just hit 75,201. Yeah. So 75,346. So we're going to see just drop that 74. I'm looking at coin market cap at the moment. So it seems to be still inching up a little bit, but I'm like, I'm probably not going to make a move until like the middle of the night. And people are like, why? Asia, Europe. Why? Well, this is what I do. I'm paying attention to what's going on over there because it's going to affect over here. One of the reasons why I think I'm going to wind up taking profit is because I don't know, the United States starts a stupid conflict that nobody else wants involvement in, and everybody's told the United States to go pound sand. Oh, you need help? Oh, now you want help, but you didn't tell us before you did it, so nah, we'll pass. That's what I've been paying attention to. Those macro events are going to have an effect. Scott Bessent this morning was on CNBC talking like, it's a great thing that the world is releasing 400 million barrels of oil, the highest ever. Like that was a good thing. No, dude, that's a bad thing. There is no slapping lipstick on this pig. This could cause, and not just a global recession, this could cause a global depression. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to sit there at these levels and say, the people that work for me can't afford to eat. The people that work for me can no longer afford to get here to work for me. The people that work for me can't afford what they're building. Imagine you have a whole bunch of people at your company and you're building products, providing services, all that stuff, and none of your people can afford it because we're in a depression. What happens during the depression? Rich folk, wealthy folk, all those institutions, they want to keep all of their money and they don't want to share it. So what winds up happening? That's right, massive layoffs. While people are still running around, eating well, living well, acting as if they're tone deaf because they can't see everything. These are facts. This isn't new stuff. We've been to this rodeo before. We've listened to this music at this dance previously. We don't learn. We don't learn. Different names, different faces, same lessons unlearned. Stop being freaking greedy. Stop being freaking greedy. Stop trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I just don't get it. I mean, I do, but I don't. I'm eating cat. One of the things that, years ago, there was a particular country that I had a lot of I still have a lot of friends in that country, and they all want me to come visit. And way back then, they used to describe to me, certain areas of the country, and it'd be like mansion, shanty, mansion, shanty, shanty, mansion, mansion, shanty. There's absolutely no way in the world that I could live like that. I wouldn't be able to come out of my mansion and say hello to my next door neighbor, if at all, and see them living in a shanty. Like, that's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. How much money do you need? Seriously, I want you to stop and think about this. There's a person on this planet who's completely overrated, and he's, on paper, he's going to wind up being a trillionaire. A trillionaire. So, I want you just to think about this. You're not going to spend $1 billion. You're just not. You're not going to spend $1 billion. So 1 million, maybe. 100 billion, 100 million, maybe. But this person has hundreds of billions of dollars already, quickly approaching $1 trillion status. First $1 trillion person that we know of. And he could solve world hunger and not miss it. There are lots of billionaires that could solve world hunger and not miss that money. But they don't. You want to know what they do? They spend a lot of time giving to charities who make, 100% of money. To say they make $100, 99 of it will go to administration. $1 will actually go to what the charity is meant to be covering. Crazy percentages. I'm just putting it out there. So you start to realize, holy moly, I'm not going to be able to do that. So from business sense, and you're starting to hear more people say it. Here's another example. Insurance companies cut big checks for the wildfires. Big checks. they still pulled crazy revenue, cash flow positive, but the rate still got jacked up. Electricity still jacked up. There are macro events that are out of our control. I can only control what I can control. I don't control my kids. I can tell them anything. Like I said, this is how this got started. I can tell my kids a lot of stuff. Do they listen? That's up to them. That's up to them. But for me, as I sit here, I think about all of those macro events and I think about the level of stupidity. June, July timeframe, and they're dictating their terms right now. So I'm contemplating, how do I make money off of that? I'm not gonna make money off of that. I'm not gonna get any shares. And trust me, those shares are gonna shoot up. They will shoot the hell up. I'm hoping that I'd be able to get my hands on, some options. But how long do you think it'll be before those options actually stop going up? It's gonna be expensive all the way around. So the question isn't, how can I invest in that company? For me, that is. The question is, what other companies should I be doing a pin play off of? Because if they go up, they'll go up. That's the research. For me, that's the research. So again, when I look at all of those people that are worth billions, that's great. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you were able to earn it. Some of you were able to earn it. Proud of you. Good for you. I don't like everything that Michael Bloomberg stands for, but you know what? He earned it. Every stinking little penny. That man earned it. Earned it. From nothing to something. I absolutely respect him. Absolutely. And it's not just because one of my friend's kids works for the guy. No. It's because he went from nothing to something and he had to do it himself. Yes, he had certain privileges availed to him, but those privileges had nothing to do with money. He had to do it all himself. That's right. So other people, you have a product, you have a service. I'm happy for you. Great. Are you setting your prices so high that people cannot afford it? So round robin, back to the beginning. Why would I want to take a profit? Do I think it's going to hit 80 right now? No, I don't. Why is that, Mr. Johnson? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because the United States is not going to get any help. The United States is an island unto itself. Ooh, that was a bad pun, wasn't it? My bad. Didn't mean it like that. But yeah, we're on an island all by ourselves. We put ourselves there. Again. This isn't the first time. This is the second time this regime has been here, and we've done it again. Nobody believed, and here we are. Gas prices, they were like, oh, gas prices are going down. I heard somebody say that today, and I wanted to slap the snot out of them. The reason why? Gas prices are still in the 90s. I'm still $30 up from where they were just a couple of weeks ago. Per barrel, that is, per barrel. So are you freaking serious with that? Oh, the gas prices are coming down. Woohoo! I'm going to punch you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to kill you. I want to punch you so that you get a nice knot right there or right here so that everybody can see it for weeks. That's what I want to do to you. Because the level of dumb that you think people are to not see that gas prices are up? To not see that, oh, that's made from petroleum. Oh, that's going to cost you more money. Yeah, oil and its derivatives, they all go up in price. Tell me, what the hell is made out of plastic, out of petroleum? Some might say a whole lot of stuff. Some might say. So prices are going up. Yet you're not thinking about affordability. Because if you were, you wouldn't have the world on the brink of a recession. And that's the upside. The downside would be depression. I saw a quote. Oh, we have enough oil for us. That's a pretty arrogant statement to make. You want to know what he didn't say? For how long? When I was growing up, my mother used to tell me you need to have X percentage of money in cash or X amount of money, liquid in case you lose your job. Oh, Ma, listen, boy. That's how she said, listen. And I would shut up with a quickness. Even try to suck in the words I had just said. Yeah, because Mom said. So now she'd be like, well, you want to have anywhere between 3 and 6 months. Back then, you could consider 3 months. Now, I know people with crazy skills in their field. Certifications, education in their field, out of work for a year, out of work for 9 months. A 3-month cushion, you might as well be broke. You might as well be broke. You need 6 months plus. I heard somebody say that they have enough for a year, and I was like, that's the minimum. That's the new minimum. People look at me like I'm crazy. For those of you old enough that were working back in 2008, for those of you that were working, back in 2001, you know what the hell that feels like. Right? I forgot the time before that it happened. Was it 89? Early 90s? When we were still faxing resumes. And there were tricks to faxing a resume. There were tricks. You don't want to have your resume get there first. It gets buried. Because back then the fax machine used to print out the pages on top of each other. It ain't facing up. You didn't want to be the first one. You don't want to be on the bottom. You want to be one of the first. Sweet spot time, 10 o'clock. Yeah, I remember these things. If you're a technologist nowadays, even before, take down your resume for a couple of days, put it back up. It'll bubble you back up to the top. All these things, all these tricks you have to do. And all of a sudden everybody's a freaking, a talent scout or a talent coach. Oh, I can teach you how to get your resume up and running really well and blah, blah, blah. Hi, ChatGPT. How are you? Like, what do I need you for? Oh, they don't know how to get past the systems. They are the systems. What are you talking about? So looking at these companies that are laying off a whole bunch of people, Meta looking at 20%, Block just laying off, 40%. You've got a long list of companies that were just dropping people left and right, blaming AI. But like I said before, you can't blame AI if you're not getting return on investment from AI. So which lie is actually the truth? It's not AI. You overhired. You didn't manage your money properly. You didn't grow the way you thought you were going to grow. You became a victim of overspending. Why did you overspend? Greed. If I hire more people, for sure I'll make more money. Some cases yes, some cases no. If you're a software company, a big software company, you're starting to realize, holy moly, I have a problem. And it's not going away. I can't turn my back on it anymore. Sounds similar to traditional finance and crypto, right? It's not going away. I can't turn my back on it anymore. That one. So I sat there and I'm just like, yeah, I got to pay attention to all this stuff. Who's laying off people? What does that say about that particular industry or segment? Is it a canary in a coal mine, or is it that company screwed up? Big questions. Do I see companies doing pivots? I don't think anybody's thought about that. Meaning, do I see companies changing what they do for a living? Yeah. Do I see them smart enough to change their strategies? Oh, we shouldn't be doing that anymore. We should be doing this over here. Let's go do this. Let's start building that out. You had ample time. Any company that's having problems with AI right now, immediately fire management. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me if lies are detected. If you have a company right now and they're having problems because of AI, fire leadership, like with a quickness. And then like, why? What are you talking about? Because you've had years to figure it out. Some will blockbuster it. Oh, that'll never take off. That'll never happen. Netflix just kept doing its thing. Remember how Netflix started? Through the mail. Yeah, different company name, through the mail. And then they latched on to this technology. I was a part of it. I was a program manager for a technology team that was rebuilding the internet presence for gateway computers. Way back when. And next door to us was a company that was completely under the radar. Completely under the radar. And they were working on what we now call Netflix. And they started doing this way back when it was crazy expensive for bandwidth. Because they saw into the future. They were like, this is going to be hot. Watching something in your own house. Wait, didn't have to go to Blockbuster to go pick up a VHS tape? Didn't have to worry about rewinding anything? Losing a disc? Scratching a disc? The tiniest little hair of a scratch on a disc could ruin a disc. Absolutely. So to be able to do that, what? It spawned whole new industries. It spawned growth across so many. Look at the size of the television in your living room. Did you ever think? I used to have these huge Sony monitors, and I used to think I was the man because Sony monitors were the best monitors ever. Not ever, ever. Who owns monitors now? That's right. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it proud. Samsung. And there'll be somebody else to take their place too. Everybody gets replaced. I see you, 8 Paws. And all the businesses that are closed because of natural disasters, falling trees into buildings, electric grids down, flooding, etc. I just saw, I forgot where it was in Middle America, but there was a solar array. It was a solar farm, and they had a tornado rip through, and all of those panels are ruined. And I'm like, I wonder if there's going to be a sale. Like maybe they have a couple of panels that survived, but they don't want them, and I'm act like I wouldn't take a panel. What? I could easily take like 3 more panels, put them out over there, right? Create like a temporary roof right there. Boom. I got the panels going. They don't have to pick up a lot. They just have to power a battery. They just have to juice up my batteries. That's it. Why do I talk about all this stuff? So that you guys, who Tanik put it in the comments earlier, the word was diversify. Everybody's so keen on real estate or stocks, options, bonds, right? Buying a business or whatever. Diversify. All of these things will be touched by macro events, no matter what it is, what revenue vehicle you're talking about. They're all going to be touched by macroeconomic events. How they are touched matters. How much they are touched matters. Look at it like this. You own a building and you're like, just to make it easy, you're 100% occupied. Your people pay their rent on time. You're fine. Everything's perfect. But the market keeps going up. You can make more money if you raise rents. I could. Or because I'm 100% occupied, I could keep these rents the way they are and keep collecting my money on time every time. More money or consistent money? Funny thing about doctors, most doctors don't make a ton of money. I mean, they make good money. Let's not get it twisted. But most doctors don't make a ton of money. What do they make? Consistent money. That money just rolls on in. Boom, 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 boom. So I can take chances and I can make moves and I can do all these things. But why am I going to disrupt my Apple cart? That's making money over there. So when times get tough and this business starts going down or crypto takes a hit, stocks take a hit, let me tell you something. It's not going to take a lot. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA just announced that they have an additional $500 million, another $500 billion, in orders through 2027. So they've got the 500 for this year, and they're saying they have another 500 through next year. What would happen if we found out that NVIDIA's sales were not as clean as they could be? Right? A little inflated over here. That's why they're trying to adopt a quote unquote cleaner, revenue reporting system. Shouldn't have been clean the first time. Pick any company and say to yourself, what would be bad enough news that could hurt this company, and how much news would it take? We used to joke about what it would take to screw up a bank. If we all just walked in the bank and asked for 5%, 10%, 10%. For a lot of banks, that would trigger a run on the bank. Isn't that what just happened to the private capital market? And that's why they were like, no, we're going to cap these redemptions. Yeah, pay attention, folks. Pay attention. This is what happens. Will NVIDIA get all the supplies to fill those orders? That's why they're stemming out all the way into 2027. Don't know. Don't know. But how often, how many times in a row can you report good news, good news, good news, good news? Better news, better news, better news, better news. Excuse me? Everything's all rosy? Really? Interesting. Think about that. Just how many times in a row have these companies said, oh, good news, good news, good news, good news, good news. And then whack. Not so good a news. Who was it? Nebius? I was listening to Jim Cramer today, and he said, yeah, last year, poor little Nebius, they were right over there. Nobody was at their booth, so I decided to stop by and say hello. And they were like, oh, Jim Cramer. Okay. Last year, they were nothing. And then this year, they got a $2 billion investment from who? What is it? Meta? Yeah. Amazeballs, right? From bad to good in a heartbeat. And next thing you know, you can go from good to bad in a heartbeat. Look at Salesforce.com, Agent Force. I haven't seen an Agent Force commercial in a minute. I was like, oh, that's not going over too well, is it? That is not going over too well. Well, Agent Force, we're going to get rid of all these people. And then there's Perplexity. Perplexity is a company that's like, is it Perplexity or Anthropic? One of the two. I think it might be Anthropic. They're like, yeah, we don't do agents. Agents are stupid. It's like, yeah, they are stupid. You've got skills that you need. You have capabilities that you need. And why do I need AI to think about which capability to use? Why don't I just tell it? In which case, I don't need AI to make that decision. I program it that way and it'll do what it's supposed to do every time. Not, maybe I'll do it. The AI bubble is indeed a bubble. It's just a matter of when and how and what the reach will be. Mark my words. But do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, there's a lot of news that were released all throughout the day and everything, all on growmybag.tv. Go check them out. And if you can, go sign up. It's $1 a month. You can handle that. And there's a lot more. Maybe you guys don't pay attention, but I type things on the feed. I type things in big baggers. I'm fairly active. And there's a lot on the site. A lot that you should probably pay attention to, because it's not all about crypto. I had somebody reach out to me and be like, oh, your name is Eddie J on crypto. Why do you keep talking about all this other stuff? And it's like, I don't know. What do you plan on using crypto for? I wasn't being funny. I was being serious. And then they stopped and they looked at me and they were like, that was rude. I was like, why? It was like, because you're right. What are we going to use crypto for? To buy products and services. I still need to go to the store. I need furniture. I need food. I need a car. I need drapes. Whatever. I'm still doing my thing. You know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff. And you start to realize, yeah, that's right. I'm forgetting. So, operative word, diversify. Do research on things that you don't think will affect you will affect you. If you're not paying attention, it can affect you. The world telling the United States to go pound sand, we're not helping you with this Iran thing. That's bigger than what most people are thinking about. And the ramifications from that are huge. Huge. Tonight's question, though. What crypto lending platform just filed for Chapter 11? Aave, 0%. Figure, 0%. Ledin, 40%. Other, 60%. For once, 8paws is correct. It's block fills. It's block fills. There are things going on that you should pay attention to. There are opportunities for you to make money, but I think you need to educate yourself first, right? Educate yourself first. You're going to have to invest in order to survive, and the first investment is in yourself. Educate yourself. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, do me a favor, hit the hypes and smash the likes. Just go to your regular phone, scroll to the site, scroll to, Grow My Bag, the latest video within 24 hours, and hit hype. Definitely helps us in a big way. It used to be likes, still kind of likes, but they're really trying to build up on this whole hype thing. So that would help us reach even more people. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. We will fight for that every day. Everybody, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.